welcome to the Winding Road Podcast. Middle of spring, severe weather season, and boy, oh boy, we just had one roll on through, and I've never actually seen a tornado in my lifetime. Kind of one of those deals where if I had a basement, if I'm at a place with a basement, then I'm kind of like, bring it on a little bit. Like a part of me is like, bring it on. Like, wouldn't mind seeing one. And obviously another part of you is like, stay away. Like, hope I don't see one. And it's just so weird how I can have those, and how we as humans, we have those conflicting emotions within us, of two polar opposites, of wanting it, not wanting it at the same time. But then it's like, but it's so clear. It's like I wasn't really afraid. Maybe a little bit, parts of me were a little bit afraid, but yet at the same time, other parts of me are just totally awe-inspired by it. And it's just like one of those deals where you just feel so alive, and I'm not encouraging anybody to go out in it, and put themselves at risk or anything, but gotta be honest, like I'm a porch sitter. I dropped my glasses. I'm a porch sitter when that happens. I mean, obviously I'm gonna get inside, I'm gonna get to safety if I absolutely have to, for sure. Not a total complete idiot, but man, I love to see him. Like, yeah, I'm pretty afraid, gosh, I don't want to be anywhere without a basement, like, mentality. And a lot of other people are like, oh, whatever, I've been here this long, whatever, I just stayed at home and ride it out. Like, I get that, respect that mindset, it's my time, whatever. I get and respect that, but I also get and respect, like, let's be safe about this. So yeah, always a fan of being somewhere with a basement. But I want to tell you the experience that I had, this one that rolled through just a short time ago. So we're sitting out there, sunny, this ain't nothing. Of course, they say, they always say it's going to be bad, and then, like, hardly ever is type of mentality. But at the same time, I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the case, but I'm also thinking, like, yeah, this is just a little, this is the first round of this, and there's a lot more coming behind it, and we're under a tornado watch for a couple more hours. And so I'm like, all right, first batch rolls through, thinking, all right, could be nothing, but I'm like keeping an eye on it, realizing it could be something. And well, here it comes, man. And it just went from being sunny to so dark in just a matter of, like, just a couple of minutes. And I could see, standing on the porch, the wall cloud forming, ready to take shelter if need be. But at the same time, I'm going to stay out there long as I can to see something that's so amazing. Yes, like, just of nature, of God, of the more, like, just the weather. Like, it's just like, it gives you that deeper sense of life. You're like I said before, like, man, you just feel so alive. So I'm sitting there feeling so alive in that moment, watching this wall cloud form, and then the wind starts to pick up just a little bit. And where I was at, got a couple trees, one to the left out there and one to the right, but no other trees really around, so I could see the wall cloud pretty good. And I'm like in the center of these trees looking out at this, and the wind starts to pick up, and then I notice a limb. I don't know if that had, from that storm or from a previous storm that was still down, a big limb, a heavy limb starts going across the yard. And then in that moment, like, I'm seeing the tree in my left eye, and the tree, I'm like, I'm seeing both eyes, but one, like this, and I'm in the middle of it, and I see the tree start to sway, man. And I swear it was just like a rush, like a wave, or like, let's use a tornado analogy, like a burst of wind, like came in through the back of my head. Like, obviously it's already in my brain, already in my mind, but then that wave like goes out of my vision. I see it going out of my vision, like the trees are here, but I don't know how to try to explain it. But it was just like this deal where it goes out and then it comes back in, and in that moment of going out and coming back into like normal vision, in normal default mode operating system, was this 3 seconds maybe at most, man. But it was like time really kind of like slowed down. It really did. It was like, again, it was just like the wave coming through me. It was so weird, so awe-inspiring, so profound, and just bam, man, comes through me, and time slowed down for like 3 seconds, and I'm just like, wow. And I maybe possibly could have stayed in that moment if I wanted to, but at the same time, then that mechanism, and maybe that's what it was, that mechanism, of fight or flight mode, maybe that's what that was coming at me when the time slowed down, to realize, hey, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger. Because right after that, I hear the never heard a tornado before. I don't know if it was on the ground because we couldn't see anything. There were some other trees off in the distance, so I don't know if they were blocking it or if the tornado was just trying to hit the ground in the moment. Didn't see anything, but that was the closest I got to seeing it, and that's the first time I ever heard it. And a lot of people say, it sounds like a freight train coming. I think you have to do your own research on it. Obviously, I can't do the research right now, but I think that's if it's just like really close, like really, really close to you. But it wasn't all that close, so I think that's why I only maybe heard the swirling and the swishing sound, or like I said, maybe that was just because it was trying to hit the ground. But that's definitely a sound, doing my own research after that, after I heard it, that's definitely a sound that said of a tornado, trying to hit the ground. Like, it doesn't always sound like a freight train, and maybe it always does if it gets really super close to you. So I'm not exactly sure on that, but I do know that it was trying to hit the ground, or was on the ground, just couldn't see it via the trees in the distance, man. But it was just like, then obviously once I heard that, like, I'm gone, in the house, in the basement. But then for no longer than I'm down there, 10, 20, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, then it was over. And then it was over. And total calmness again. And then you could see it, it was already past us, going in the opposite direction. And then, then a few minutes later, the sun's out, and I'm just like, wow. And I'm just like blown away by just that profoundness of the time slowing down and then being able to hear it. It was just really, really cool. Just absolutely awe-inspiring, man. It's like, I don't know, like different parts of us. I don't know how many people are able to, a lot of people get really, really afraid, and that's all they can feel in that moment. But if you like just embrace it, it goes back to what we're always talking about, like just embracing it and not being afraid, but being prepared. And if you're prepared, then you don't have to be afraid necessarily. And like that preparedness and that, just curiosity of wanting to see it, but at the same time not see it. To be able to tap into both of those things at the same time, man, it hits you on that deeper soul level, and you just feel, like I said, so alive, so alive in that moment, and the only other thing, and it's not totally exactly alike, but like the only other thing I can really kind of compare it to is like jumping off a cliff at the lake, 60, 70 feet. That was a little bit different, because it wasn't as if time was slowing down really in that moment, but yet at the same time, it stretched maybe a little bit, but I'm moving whenever that's happening. So I don't know. I don't know. It was just it was really cool, man. I just wanted to get on here and share that with you today. And let me know if you've had any other experiences in the comments. And don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. Writing update before we get off here. My novella Distant Times is out. It's doing well. I've been trying to grow it at the local level. I think I might have talked about that a little bit before, but now I've gotten enough reviews for it and enough money made for it to where I can start doing some ads on Google and Facebook. So I've been doing a lot of research on that. I know a lot of marketing myself, but I've been using the tools to figure out exactly how to go about it. Not exactly, nothing's ever going to be exact, but to figure out how to go about it to just to maximize it, and it's funny whenever you go around. I've talked a little about this before, but going around, like the people that are around you, I think to me anyways, those are the people, like, I got nervous, and I've done door-to-door sales, and I'm going around trying to put flyers up, whatever. I've done door-to-door sales, did that for many years, and no fear, like, just go talk to people, be friendly. Obviously you're trying to sell them something, but I'm trying to make a connection. Like I would in any other situation, and trying to make a connection. But I didn't know those people, so I'm like okay with that. That it's like the people around you that it's like, I guess you feel like they're gonna maybe judge you more harshly than the rest of the world, and I think that's not totally, but I think that's untrue when you compare it to reaching out to the rest of the world. Like, you think that I think it's just if they're going to say something negative to you, it might hit you harder because they know you, they're around you, and if they say something negative, it's gonna you're being judged more harshly, as opposed to once you get going, and if I get whatever bind and rebuke, get some negative reviews, not everybody's going to like it, but it's like if I get that, it's kind of like whatever, whatever. I don't care, but it's like trying to impress those around you, and I think just do anything, reach out to those around you, but we need that constructive criticism sometimes. Like the people that know you the best can't be afraid to say, yeah man, that's good, but here's how I think you could make it better. And by not taking it personally, and especially if you know that person, know that they're pretty smart or whatnot, you can gain something from that, and it's just, obviously you got to realize that, and then you start, like I said, reaching out to people you don't know in the internet and everything, and reaching out to the world, and it's like, you're going to get, not everybody's going to like it, but for me, I don't know, I just like, whatever, like, I'm not really too concerned with any of that. It was just more of like, I recognized that feeling whenever I was out trying to talk to people about it, and I'm sitting there, and I'm also at the same time like, what in the world, like, why are you why are you having these feelings right now? Like, dude, you're confident, it's good, like, just go do it. And I did, but I had to fight through that a little bit, and it wasn't really fighting it though. It was more like, okay, like I understand it, and it was more like just listening to it and trying to understand why that might be occurring, and then studying why it might be occurring, and then giving you some of the thoughts that I just had on it. But it's just interesting. But it's just no fear. Just go forward. Just like, no fear, standing out on the porch, looking at the sky. It's like, oh man, wow, like, wow. Anywho, that's my podcast today. And just don't forget, guys, we're all connected. We are all connected. So therefore, I say to you, I'm me, you are you, but we are each other. So therefore, what do we need? What do we got? Love, inspire, unite. God bless.